Blackburn Rovers Academy doing a fantastic job this week as a whole host of graduates putting up a stellar performance against Harrogate in the EFL Cup. Meanwhile, the under-21s got their first win of the season. How'd they get on? We'll take a little look. Rovers Roundup video today. We take a look back at, of course, how Rovers Academy and, of course, the ladies got on this past week, as, of course, we kick on to another weekend's action. That's why I'll take a look at it, all of it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button back and say all things Rovers related, ladies football related, the Academy related. We're going to all hear boys under one brewski. That's right, stellar week in the EFL Cup with a lot of youngsters making the switch from the under-21s to the senior team. But, of course, the juniors did A-OK themselves this past week. We'll have a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But let's get into it and have a look at what we're talking about. We're talking about this. That's right. Rovers against Leicester. That was last week. And, of course, Rovers put up a stellar performance. First win on the blocks for them. 4-1 win. A-OK. Let's take a look at those, of course. The goal scorers. Ghent, of course, opened up the scoring on the 3rd minute. Nasangu, Weston, of course, to make it 3-0. Pretty much game over at that point. Booth got a goal back for the visitors before Walker sealed the deal on the 66th minute. As you can see from the shots there, 19 shots for Rovers, 5 off target, 5 shots were saved, corners as well, 6 free kicks, 7 fouls, and 3 offsides. Let's take a look at the possession. Well, it was a bit of a 50-50 game, according to the statisticians who were at this one, but Rovers Academy getting themselves up and running. Let's take a look at the squads then. We're starting with the Rovers team here, and let's see if any of these guys feature. I don't think any of them featured. Of course, Eastham, Olsen, Atchinson, Haddow as well, Duru, Weston, Wood, Walker, Ghent, Nasangu, and Binic, of course. Walker and Eastham, the veterans of the pack here now. First, this was a game that took place, I think, last weekend or Monday or something, but just 2 or 3 days later, a whole host of academy youngsters were involved with the senior team. So we can see the path. We can see the path. The kids can see the path. Play well in the under-21s. You're going to get the attention. You're going to, I think, matey boy Weston here, is he involved at all? I think he's one of the next ones to keep an eye on to make that transition. He was involved in pre-season, and of course he's got a goal and wearing the captain's number now. So I think he is shaping up to be one of the next ones to make the breakthrough. As for the kids on the bench, again, some new guys there: Matthew Litherland, Max Davies, Zach Stritch, of course. Again, just showing a little bit of confidence. If you play well, get the attention, you could be featuring for Rovers in one way or another. Let's take a look at the visitors then. Of course, Leicester with Brad Young between 6, Wilson Brown at the back there, Godsmark Ford, Middlesex Ali, Henry Cartwright, Brandon Cover, Armani Richards, Silko Thomas, who was a player that we were looking at to bring in. I think he was released from Chelsea, signed for, of course, Leicester. Bobby Amati, Orange, Raki, and Tawanda Mishawanasis up top. So that's a quick look at their 11. The substitutes, of course: Ben Grist, Zach Booth, Denich Hill, and Kinian Pennant. Quick look at how they lined up. Of course, it was a 4-2-3-1 for Rovers. Of course, you can see the action zones at the bottom there with a 4-1-4-1 for Leicester. But ultimately, Rovers too good at home and finally getting our first win of the blocks. Quick look at what else went on this past week over in the Premier League 2. Liverpool with a big 3-0 win over Southampton. The Baggies could only muster a draw against Sunderland. Man City 4, Villa 4, 8-goal thriller there. Spurs with a 2-0 win over Derby. That's, of course, next opponents for Rovers. Brighton 4-0 win over Everton. We've got West Ham 5-2 over Leeds. Borough 3-2 win over Wolves. We've got Norwich 3-2 win over Chelsea. Reading 1-0 win over Newcastle United. Manchester United 10-1 win over Stoke. Wow. Palace lost to Fulham 5-2, and Arsenal lost to Forest 2-0 as well. The table, though, looks like this. Spurs running away with it, 3 for 3. Again, they're our next opponents, with Rovers languishing in mid-table, 14th right now, with a win, a draw, and a defeat to our name. And, of course, Leicester, they're down to 20th after this result as well. Look at the next round of matches. Of course, the standouts, of course, Manchester United taking on Sunderland. That's on Monday, they're 4th. But Rovers are in action on Saturday against Tottenham as well. The same, roughly about the same, I would say say the same time, but in and around about the same time as the senior team, both away days as well. So make sure you check that out as well. Let's take a look at that game itself then in a bit more detail. So up against Spurs. Let's take a look at the hosts, of course. Here they are, Tottenham. They are managed by Wayne Burnett. He's just 51 years. I was just to say, when I say just, he's 51 years old. Been at the club since 2015. 1.21 points per match. His record against Rovers is okay. He's played 9 or managed 9, winning twice, losing 4 and drawing 3. A point per match. His record against Mike Sheeran, though, is not great. He's yet to beat Mike Sheeran, drawn a couple and lost a couple. The most loyal player on the Spurs Academy right now is Brooklyn Lloyds Foster. He's, what we look at, 22 years of age, centre-back. Maybe, just maybe, he has to make a decision of what he's going to do with himself. He cannot be languishing in the senior or the juniors for much longer. He is older. 49 players on the books, 18.5 is the average age. 8 foreigners as well. Let's take a look at that team then. We've got a whole handful of goalkeepers. And if you look at the sizes of these squads, of course, much bigger and much more options for Spurs as well. 5 goalkeepers on the books right now. Zach Simmons at the back there, James Rosswell, Max McKnight, Charlie Sayers, and amongst other ones, George Abbott. Ashley Phillips could be involved in this one. So, of course, he made the switch to join Spurs this summer. He would fit the age bracket. Will he get some game time? We'll see about that. Into midfield, we've got Tyrese Hall, Billy Heaps. We've got Max Robinson. We've got Sean Wright Phillips, not that one, but another one. I think it's not that one. Harvey White up there. Of course, up top, Dane Scarlett's been there forever, you would imagine. Will Lancashire as well. So a couple of these guys really need to make that step up or make a move, of course. And it looks like transfer window will be shut this coming Friday, so I don't know if any of these youngsters, because we picked up Bloxham from their academy, we picked up Mark and Day from their academy, and they've since gone on to make a first team professional appearance for the senior team. Take a look at Spurs so far, been pretty much faultless right now. Just 1 goal conceded. Ange Ball, the revolution happened over at Spurs as well. 5-0 demolition job of City, 4-1 win over Newcastle, and 2-0 win over Derby most recently. They have got other games up ahead. They've got the EFL Trophy, of course, and of course Premier League 2 action not too far away as well. So busy old month ahead for Spurs. Take a look at Rovers then, shall we? A recap of Mike Sheeran is the governor. Has been at the club since 2021. The Spurs record is pretty good. Like I said, 2 points per match on average, 1.35 points per match, of course, for his whole tenure. Sam Barnes, also 22, needs to make that push. 27 players on the books right now, 20.3 average age, and 8 foreigners at the minute. And here are those players. 3 goalkeepers, Hilton, Eastham and Mashishki at the back there. George Pratt, Jake Batty involved in the EFL. Sam Barnes, not so much. Who else? Anyone else make this switch this week or push up into midfield? We have Zach Gilson, got 2 for 2 now in the EFL Cup. Charlie Weston, I think, is knocking on the door. Tommy Bloxham as well. So a lot of guys can see that pathway, and hopefully will kick on in the Premier League 2 to grab the attention of JDT and of course the coaching staff. So far, okay for Rovers, but a bit of a stodgy start. 6-1 loss to Chelsea, a thriller over West Brom, 4-1 win over Leicester there. Of course, today we're previewing the away day for Spurs, but into the future we have a little bit of a break, I believe. Villa at home, not too far away. United as well, double home match for Rovers there, and of course currently find ourselves in 13th spot in the table as well. Quick look at the team on paper here. It does say Rovers average is 19.8, and of course our form is okay, but it's not good compared to Spurs. However, last time they did play Rovers, of course, they did lose. So hopefully we can put the fear of him into them, and of course get themselves back to a winning ways. This is the recent run of events, and as you can see, 3-2 win. Yeah, you got to go back to 2020 for Spurs' last win. It was a tight win as well, 3-2 win, of course. So they don't like coming up to Rovers or playing Rovers, whether it's home or away. Just 1 win and a whole half, 2 wins of the last 10. So it's not great for Spurs. So hopefully we can get them on the back foot here. I don't think I've gone with a win though. I think we're gonna get tonked here. 3-0 win. It's a tough away day, but the mood within the academy and Rovers player staff seems good right now. Good result against Watford in the first team. Good 8-0 demolition job against Harrogate with the kids. You just don't know. And of course, the U21s riling off that back of that the big win this past week against Leicester. So I'm going to 3-0 win for Spurs, but we'll see. Going with a big 3-0 win for Spurs, but we'll see about that. Now let's bring you up to date with, of course, the loanees. Only a couple of loanees so far this season is Felix Goddard. It's the Felix Goddard show right here, right now. He has been in action with Marine over in the Northern Premier League. A big 2-0 win for Marine. Clean sheet for Felix Goddard. He's doing A-OK for them. That was on the 26th. On the 28th, double action, another clean sheet. William Tomlinson, also ex-Rover on the score sheet there, as of course. And Chris Doyle, was he not an ex-Rover? I don't know. But they're doing bits right now, Marine. I haven't got the table up, but on the horizon, they do have Guiseley in the FA Cup first qualifying round. That's this coming Saturday. We'll bring you back up to date with his performance, I think. I don't know when I'll get back to you on the Rovers Roundup because I'm on the road. So we will see. We'll bring you back up to date whenever I can. So, and I'll let you know. You won't miss a beat. Meanwhile, Jared Horlock is at New Saints. He's not had a sniff. They also played 2 games, of course, taking on Barry Town. That was on the 26th, 2-2 draw there. He was on the bench for this one. Still yet to get any minutes. And also they played Colwyn Bay, 1-0 win for them on the road. I don't see him involved in that one whatsoever, even on the bench. No way and no how. So I don't know what's going on with him. Yet to get any minutes. Of course, on the horizon, they take on Aberystwyth, and then they take on Hibernian in the Scottish Challenge Cup third round, which is a bit bizarre. I just don't get it. Meanwhile, of course, let's switch focus to the ladies. That's right. The ladies are up and running, courtesy of an opening day win against the champions. Is that right? A 1-0 win it was. Perfect start for the ladies thus far, with Megan Hornby the only goal scorer as Rovers rock to a 4-3-3. Alexandra Brooks between the sticks. Noctula left back, Seed at the back there, Toland, Naylor, Charandarana. I tell you what, I'll get better. I'll get better once we keep on knocking these out here. Jay Richards, Capitano, Chloe Williams, Megan Horby, the goal scorer, Lucy Shepherd, and Georgia Walters as well. And of course, Birmingham City rocking up with a 4-3-3 as well. As you can see, substitutions coming on here as well. We had, of course, Lauren Thomas for Shepherd there, Emma Doyle for Williams, Evie Smith for Chandarana, Hannah Cohen for Walters, Hannah Sillick as well for Hornby as well, as Rovers rocked away with a 1-0 win to take the 3 points. Let's take a little look then, shall we? Of course, Rovers with that big 1-0 win. Other results, a lot of draws knocking around. Watford Durham 1-1 there, Sunderland 0, London City 0, Crystal Palace 1, Reading 1, Charlton 1, Sheffield United 0, and Southampton, the only other winner this weekend as well, to put the table looking like this. Southampton top, Rovers second. We'll take that all day long. Lewis are going down, Birmingham City also going down, and of course those top 2, they have to bloody meet this week, don't they? It's Southampton taking on Rovers. That's on Sunday, September the 3rd, in a bit of a zinger chicken dinner. Already, 6-pointer at the top of the table. Let's take a little look then at Southampton, of course, gearing up for this one. Their recent run of events look like this, of course, opening up with that 4-1 win. Of course, they ended up the season. I'm still trying to figure out the season in the women's football, so don't quote me here, but I don't know what went on between the months of December and now. So, but the last time I played Rovers was a 1-1 draw. It was back in November 2022. They are, of course, are top of the table with a big expansive 4-1 win over Luce. Look at the ladies then, of course, Sophie Harris, Sarah Luce between the sticks competing, maybe Laura Rafferty, Gemma Purefield. We've got Ashley Ward. That sounds like a Rovers player, that. Millie Mott as well. Into midfield, we've got like Letha Rutherford, Megan Wynn, Phoebe Williams, Molly Pike. If you know them, smash your thumbs up. Kate Rudd. Up top there, Katie Wilkinson as well, Georgie Freeland, amongst others. Quick look at what else is going on this week in the championship. This is actually Southampton's running. This is running, of course, Rovers first, then Sunderland, Reading, Birmingham City, and Watford before into the month of October, or deep in the month of October, they take on Durham as well. So remind ourselves of the Rovers ladies then, shall we? Of course, 1-0 win over Birmingham City, still ringing in our ears. Third cup in the Women's Cup was the last game prior to that previous one, according to my knowledge here anyway, and it is a learning process, of course. This is, of course, the squad. Elena Heaps, of course, was between the sticks. We got Millie Chandarana, was operating in midfield, I thought. I saw there. Chloe Dixon, Helen Seed, of course, into midfield. We got Amy Hodgkinson, Natasha Fenton. I didn't think she was involved in that last game. And, of course, Annabelle Blanchard, Saffron Jordan, amongst others, of course. And the Rovers Roundup, of course, with the ladies continues. Sheffield United await Rovers after the Southampton game. That's next Sunday. before we take on Watford, lose back-to-back away trips there. Of course, Crystal Palace and then Charlton back-to-back home trips for the women's ladies. Of course, what about if I'm going to be pushed for a prediction here? It's going to be a tighter one here. Southampton flexing their muscles, an away day as well. So I don't think the Rovers under 21s, men's and the ladies will have a good week, but I hope to be proven wrong, of course. That's, of course, my Rovers Roundup complete. Be sure to smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. We'll be back again. It will be a couple of weeks, I think, before we come back with the next Rovers Roundup. Things are going to be a little bit tricky with videos, but we will see about it all. But until then, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, catch me later. But until then, we're done.